If you've ever tried to review every single sales call that your AI actually handles, you know it's a nightmare. We're a small team, and until now, the only system we had was someone sitting there listening to hundreds of recordings. And honestly, no one wanted to do that. And with some of our clients spending upwards of $40K per month on ads, it just wasn't sustainable. So we built a system that analyzes every AI-handled call daily, spits out actual next steps, and drops a readable PDF directly into each client's Slack channel. I'll break down exactly how we set it up, step by step. Plus, I'm sharing the exact prompt for free at the end.
Now, what I'm about to show you is an absolute game changer. So it's split into a couple different sections. We have the daily executive summary, which just gives a high-level overview of everything that happened. We have the key performance indicators. So yesterday we could see 40 calls were made. Out of those, we had 13 booked and 8 callbacks scheduled. So we had a meeting conversion rate of 32%. Now, after that, it goes into the high impact wins. So what's working right now with your voice agent, and then the critical failure analysis. So if you look right here, it provides a problem. It provides what is the root cause in that problem. What are the call IDs where this was observed? And then what would be the recommended prompt edit? This is what you need to find. And this is what we would recommend replacing it with. So in this case here, right, users are reacting negatively after the AI reveals its identity. So here you can see, here's the recommended prompt find. This is what we're currently doing for handling AI concerns. I get that. The cool thing is I can actually help figure out if this makes sense for your business instead of just trying to book some call. What's your biggest challenge with leads right now? Instead, they want us to replace it with, I understand. As an advanced AI assistant specializing in wholesaling, I can quickly analyze your needs and provide tailored solutions. Unlike a human, I can instantly access data on thousands of motivated sellers without putting you on hold. This saves you valuable time and helps you close more deals. Now, to ensure I'm offering the best recommendations, what's your biggest challenge with leads right now? So much more powerful, and it outputs this on a daily basis. So now you could take all of these critical failures and you can improve your agents, and you can also monitor all of your agents pretty much on autopilot, where you no longer have to listen to any call recordings. And it's broken down into 2 really simple automations. The first one is just analyzing the daily performance. So we have a post-call analysis sheet. This post-call analysis sheet has every single call, whether it's answered, not answered, if there's an error, the call doesn't connect. And then we have a second sheet, which is just for calls that have been answered on a daily basis. Now, this trigger runs at 5 p.m. and then 5 minutes later, we go and we clear that queue. Now, let's break down exactly what's happening. So first we have this get rows and sheets. So we're grabbing all the rows. Then we are extracting only the fields that we need. So essentially we get a ton of data in here. We don't need all of it. We just need some of it. So we're extracting only what we need. And then we're turning that list of 90 items into one item so we can pass that one item to the AI agent to be able to process. Now we've attached Google Gemini 2.5 to this model as the chat model. And the reason for that is because it has the largest context window. So it's able to analyze all of these transcripts and output the report in the specific format that I just showed you. Now from there, we go and we mark it down to HTML. We have a code node, which is just formatting it a little bit nicer. And then we have an HTTP request to pdf.co. So it's turning it into a PDF. We then download that PDF and then we upload it to our Slack channel. And then on the bottom for clearing the call queue, we have the schedule trigger. We have the get rows and sheets. So we're grabbing all the rows. We then have a code node, which is just understanding how many rows are in the sheet that need to be deleted. And then we go and delete all of the rows from that sheet. So now let's dive into how you can set this up, how you can build everything from scratch. And everything will be available completely for free in No Code Nation. We're almost at 2.3 thousand members now. We're continuing to grow. It's pretty awesome, guys. Would love to see you in there, see you contribute. I truly believe that as a team, if we continue to share the best practices, we will be light years ahead of our competition. So the first thing that we're going to need to grab is a schedule trigger. We're going to add that in right here. You can set it to whatever time that you want. Then after that, you're going to want to connect to wherever you're storing all your post-call recordings. So whether that be in Supabase or whether it be in Google Sheets, and you're going to use the get rows and sheets. So go ahead, connect to your spreadsheet with all of that data. I've actually gone and created a sample so that you can set this up, test it, and make sure that it works. Okay, so now we're just connecting to that demo sheet. We can go ahead, test the step, And you see that we get all this information. Then from there, we're going to toss in a code node, and all we're grabbing is the call ID, the customer number, the transcript, the summary, the call outcome, and the disconnection reason. So that if I test this step now, you could see that those are the only fields that we grab. So it's less information for our AI to have to process. Okay. And then we're combining all of these. So you can see right now we have 3 items down into 1. So now you can see the output is 1 item, but it started with 3. Now from there, we're going to need an AI agent. We're going to change this to define below. And all I'm adding here is the JSON, just like this. And then we are going to add a system message. Okay. So you can see right here, we have the role. So you're an AI call performance reviewer. Your goal is to look at daily call data, what to look for, friction moments. So did they repeat themselves? Did they get interrupted? Did they sound annoyed? What is your conversion flow from intro all the way to book meeting? For book meetings, what turned things around? For failed calls, where did things go off track? Any sort of objection handling? And then a daily summary output with KPIs, total calls, etc. Now we're going to connect Gemini. Now you're going to need to come into Google AI Studio if this is your first time, and you're going to have to get your API key. You can come back in here, drop it in, hit save, your connection is made successful, and then go ahead to choose your model. I'm using 2.5 Pro. Now for here, I'm just using simple memory. I think I just even did something as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, which isn't a best practice, but it works. And then I attached a think node if the agent needed to do some thinking. Now we could go ahead and test this step, and you'll see in a second, once it analyzes those 3 calls, we're going to get a nice output right here. Now, while that's working, we're going to add in our next step, which is going to be Markdown. So it converts data between Markdown and HTML. And so all you have to do is drag that output and actually just switch this from Markdown to HTML. So we'll drag that in. We're going to want to add an option, which is going to be a complete HTML document. We're just going to turn that on, hit test step here. And now we get this HTML document. So we'll pin this. We'll pin the next step. Now from here, I added in a code node, and this is just because I wanted to format this a little bit nicer. And so you can see it just takes this and puts it into a nicer format for viewing when we create our PDF. After that, we're going to add in an HTTP request. It's going to be a post request, and we're going to be dropping it at this endpoint. So pdf.co, convert from HTML. We're going to turn on send headers. Now you're going to need to get your API key. So go to pdf.co, create an account, grab your API key, drop it in right here. And then your second one is going to be content type application JSON. Now we're going to grab that HTML right down here. We're going to drop it in. So turn on send body. First parameter is going to be HTML, JSON HTML. I added in this margins field for sizing, paper size. I did letter, orientation. I did portrait, and print background I set to true. Now these are all settings that you can mess around with. They're all in the API documentation, but this will get you going. And guys, if you do get value out of this, please drop a subscribe. This took me a long time to figure out, and it's free, greatly supports the channel, and I'll give you a virtual high five. Bop. Okay, so now let's test this step. It's creating that PDF. There we go. We have a URL. Now the thing is that it's temporary URL. So we need to grab that URL. And so right after this, we're going to have one more HTTP request, which is going to be a GET request. And we're going to grab that JSON URL. We can test the step. And now we get the downloadable file. So if I were to open this right now, we would see that now we have our report right in here. Now, lastly, it's to upload a file to Slack or wherever you want to send it. And you would just have to choose the upload a file action. Make sure that this matches this. And if we hit upload, we want to add option. So you choose your channel name here, hit upload, and it'll go and create that. So very simple, very powerful. This is what the final output looked like. Absolutely beautiful. Analyzes the exact call IDs and what you should change. Now from there, we're going to add in a second schedule trigger, and this is going to be to clear our call queue. So I would set this to like 5 minutes after that this runs. We're going to schedule our trigger. From there, we're going to get the rows in our Google Sheets. So same as the first step here. Choose your account, choose your sheet. You can hit test step. Going to grab all the rows. Now you see there's 3 items, so we need a code node after. And the reason for that is because when we go to delete the Google Sheets, delete sheet. Here we want to choose delete rows or columns. You'll see that we have a start row number. So it's always going to be 2 because the first line is headers, but then we need to know the number of rows to delete. And so that's where this function is going to come in handy, which is a really simple one. We're literally saying grab the row, then the total rows is equal to the row's length. And then we want to return the total rows. So if we test this step, we see that we have 3, and then we can just pass that dynamically in here, 3 rows to delete. And now when we run this, all of the rows have been deleted. We go into our demo post call sheet, and now there's no more data there. So I hope you got massive value out of this. And if you did, I will catch you on the next video. Have a great rest of the week. Take care. Peace.